Hello there, Leo. Welcome to your weekly read. Taking a sip of my water. Definitely drinking. Hydrate yourself. Leos. Moving away from like any intense sugar. Just be aware of what you're putting in to your body, because it's not what you put into yourself that defiles you, it's what comes out. But sometimes, putting things in can then cause you to feel shitty, and then you start to express a shitty vibration ultimately. Like, just be in awareness now. Like, I can see a lot of changes in your physical reality, a lot of clearing, decluttering going on in your physicality. Focus on your physical body as a part of that physical body of existence as well. Like, the physical body of existence represents what you see externally when you open your eyes. You can see your external body, you can see the matrix, the external reality. It's all the physical body of existence. So let's have a look what's coming through for Leo. You can be tuning in if you're a sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign in Leo. Physical body of existence, overall energies for Leo. It is teach. I really feel like you're in a preparation mode to teach, right? To teach others. Connecting to a long lost friend is also coming through. However, there's a lot of people that's been watching your movements, Leo. Maybe on social media, maybe in the physical reality, whether it's a negative or positive thing, but they're very curious, in regards to your movements, and they can sense and feel this vibration, this frequency that you emanate. And I think this week you're going to start taking steps in regards to teaching the secret mysteries of your wisdom and knowledge that you've acquired, being gifted from God within. So, I don't know, I'm also seeing here with the flower, I think it is in the book, like pressing flowers, like doing some little art and craft things, picking some flowers and then pressing them in books, and, having that surprise factor when you open a book in 10 years time or something and there's a pressed, flower, dried flower there or something. Like, maybe you've done that before, maybe you'll find one this week. But yeah, there's just something in regards to just being very simple in the physical reality and seeing the blessing in expressing, teaching your wisdom. But there is a huge adventure coming for y'all in the physical body of existence. Like I stated, you're in somewhat of a preparation mode, but your whole physical reality is ultimately going to change. There's going to be a huge shift in your physical reality. Like, I know it may not make sense in regards to how this will relate, but, start gifting your wisdom. I don't like the word teach, learn, right? Because everything's a blessing, but like, what I'm talking about, where I'm pointing when I'm saying like teach your wisdom. Like, if you see someone struggling, even if it's just on social media, someone that you don't even know, you can write a comment and just suggest some healing modality, point them in the right direction towards the healing process. That may not make sense as to why, but it will. It's just a part of being the living testimony, being the example of Christ as well. Like, really embodying being made in the image of Christ. There's a huge change here in your physical reality though with the number 5. But yeah, people like your vibe. They really listen to you. So in your emotional body of existence, you're definitely picking up on feeling energies because it's in your emotional body of existence. And the third eye is your intuition. Your intuition is really on point. So that's why like you could be helpful to others just because you're psychic as F this week, Leo. You're really seeing through the illusions, and you're seeing the emotional body of existence within other people, and you're seeing like the reason why they're feeling a certain way, or the reason why certain manifestations in the physical reality for others is happening, and you can give them wisdom, you can gift them awareness in regards to why they're going through that. But we do have the deception card as well coming out. So, be aware of the truth that you are not your thoughts, you are not your feelings. So even though something feels good, is it a deceptive spirit of error just feeding that energy and motion? And it's not like infinite. The sensory is finite, right? So if you follow your feels, This is why I don't guide people to follow their feels. It's like feeling without feeling. I always push you all into spirit beyond the sensory experience. So, just be aware that some of your feelings just aren't yours. Okay, a lot of the time, our thoughts, they just aren't ours, right? And we've got to go through clearings. Maybe even a protection for TIs would be in need for you all at this time, because of the intense spiritual warfare that's going on. But just be aware that a lot of these feelings that you're feeling, they're not necessarily yours, they're not necessarily even your twin flames. You're picking them up from the collective of the ways of the world, which are actually even outside of the covenant of the 144,000. So one way, this is how I can see the teaching will help, one way to bring that back in, speaking to the external reality, is to start finger pointing, guiding the ones around you that you're perceiving to the truth. Because if you don't stick up to the energy, if you ignore it, then it solidifies it, and you're actually allowing that gate, you're inviting it into your reality. So there is definitely a deceptive feminine around you, and you are being guided to detach from this person. Maybe a friend. I'm definitely getting it's a feminine though. Could be a mother, could be a sister, could be a family member, could be, a past friend. It could be someone that just lives around you, but or you're communicating with even, or that you're in the vicinity with and close enough for them to affect your emotional body of existence. But yes, you are detaching from the situation. There's the dove there representing the Holy Spirit. You are choosing to move beyond the sensory experience. It's 11, it's a gateway, it's a portal. We have 5 there and then 6. So you're actually ascending and moving away from this situation. But yeah, maybe you're feeling that something is happening, and there's a karmic type of energy, a distorted Jezebel feminine energy, and it's just not real. It's not actually happening. There's an illusion. So just be in awareness that, I'm not stating that your intuition isn't always right, just that a lot of these feelings are an illusion. They're coming from the spirit of error, the spirit of deception, ultimately with the deception card here. So, hyper vigilant, hyper awareness, but we do have wealth coming through. The more that you detach from these energy feeders, these harvesting type of energies, that, I think you'll know what it is. The more that you're going to clean your vessel and move into this pure vessel of receptivity to the abundance, to the wealth that you've been praying for ultimately, and that the divine, you've added through desire and intention to your vibrational escrow, and now it's time to reap in the harvest type of situation. So, just releasing, detaching any negative thoughts. But yeah, I have to keep going to the water, so keep drinking. Maybe you're moving into from winter to summer, and just stay really hydrated. If you've been feeling hot flushes, it is a indication that there's some type of spiritual warfare going on, right? Something is projecting at you. So, cleansing, saging constantly, please get some sage, Leo. Or whatever, if you haven't got access to sage, even just a visualization of a saging ritual, your intention. The mind doesn't know the difference between experiencing it or, thinking it, but receptiveness here. You got 3 major arcanas and then the third eye card. So you're going through a huge shift this week, Leo. Expect to see your reality completely change and embrace a whole new world here with the embrace card. There is an awakening going on within the divine masculine aspect of your situation here. And, even if the feminine has been detaching from the connection, it's simply, it may look like the feminine here has moved away from the situation, but the road she has taken is actually, she knows, has unwavering faith that it's going to come straight back to the union of this divine masculine and the embracing of the reunion that is to happen. So, even just say the feminine hasn't been thinking about the union as much, there is a untetherable silver cord that she is always in awareness of. Okay, so just wanted to bring that through for some of y'all. But we do have the Earth Sun coming through here. So yeah, again, very interesting, Earth Sun. So, you know, it is talking about your Earth Sun if you have a sun. It's talking about the Divine Masculine embodied here on Earth, your twin flame, or you if you are the Earth Sun, right? But if you have a sun, Leo, it is time to connect deeper to your Earth Sun. It is time to put energy, effort, awareness, love, compassion, gifted, intention, but, you know, voicing it, embracing them ultimately, because there's a deep reason and a rhyme. Like, it's very mystical, this Leo read this week, but, you know, there's a reason and a rhyme behind everything that God is doing in your life at this time. So just remember that, Leo. Let's come in with the Oracle of the Innocent Heart. We do have the Wishing Well. 32, another 5, and there's 2 little lovebirds coming through there. So some thoughts to ponder for you this week, Leo, are when we create sacred space through prayer and connection, the forces of nature respond in kind. To make the law of attraction work for us, all we need to do is believe that what we yearn for has already happened. When we open our hearts to the power of prayer, the universe becomes a much smaller place. Everything once thought out there suddenly reveals itself to be at arm's reach. When we show gratitude for what we already have, that which we want becomes available. When we allow ourselves to truly feel sorrow for what we have lost, the pain of losing tends to make the loss easier to bear. So I hope y'all are A-okay. There's a lot going on, and it's very like unspoken, very mysteries of Christ, this read. So interested to see what comes through for y'all next week, but I'm here if you need assistance. Namaste, amen.